You may have heard it from your doctor, a health newsletter, or a friend. Eggs are good for you, but don't eat too many. And you may have boiled it down to a simple rule: eat fewer eggs. But what if you started eating 2 eggs a day, consistently, for 6 months after age 50, or even after age 60? This question is more than just curiosity. It's a very real need. How can you maintain a strong body, a sharp mind, and stable health during a time when even small changes in nutrition can make a big difference? You may have felt like you were eating right, but still felt tired, lost muscle, or had thin, wrinkled skin. Maybe you tried foods labeled low-fat or plant-based, but still struggled with memory, cholesterol, or digestion. And sometimes, it's the conflicting nutritional advice that leaves you confused and wondering which way is right. So, are eggs really worth your trust? And if so, what happens if you include them in your diet every day, consistently, as part of an active post-retirement lifestyle? We'll dive into each aspect from muscle function, heart health, brain activity, to vision and bone health to clarify what really happens when an adult aged 60 or older eats 2 eggs a day for half a year. First, let's talk about the seemingly simplest, but actually vital, element for seniors: protein. After age 60, your body begins to experience a process called sarcopenia, the gradual loss of muscle mass. This process is a natural part of aging, but it's not harmless. As muscle mass decreases, you'll start to see small changes that are actually signs of systemic deterioration. Climbing stairs becomes more difficult, sitting down and standing up more slowly, or simply feeling more tired after walking for a few minutes than you did a few years ago. To maintain muscle mass, you need protein, but not just the quantity, but the quality of the protein. This is where eggs become one of the most valuable options you can easily access every day. Eggs contain all 9 essential amino acids in nearly perfect ratios for human biological needs. This means that when you eat eggs, your body doesn't have to guess or pair additional amino acids from other foods to complete the muscle building process. To be specific, each egg provides about 6 to 7 grams of protein, and if you eat 2 a day, that's about 14 grams of high-quality protein, about the same as a portion of lean meat, but much easier to digest, especially for older stomachs, which tend to have lower acid levels and less absorption capacity over time. Egg yolks also contain a compound called leucine, an amino acid that's particularly effective at stimulating muscle protein synthesis, which is doubly important if you're combining it with any light physical activity like walking, yoga, or resistance band training. Now, let's move on to something that many people your age worrying about: heart disease and cholesterol. You may have been told that eating eggs will raise your blood cholesterol, especially LDL, or bad cholesterol. That was once a common belief, and even many doctors still hold that belief. But modern research, especially since 2015, has shown a more complex and accurate picture. For people over 60, eating 2 eggs a day does not increase the risk of heart disease if you have good cardiovascular health. Instead, eggs may help increase HDL, or good cholesterol, the type of cholesterol that helps clear plaque from arteries, protecting against stroke and ischemic heart disease. Notably, eggs contain not only cholesterol but also phospholipids, such as lecithin, which improve the structure of cell membranes and promote efficient lipid transport in the body. Some studies have also shown that regular egg consumption can lead to changes in LDL particles, making them larger and less harmful, less likely to cause plaque buildup in artery walls. However, not everyone is the same. If you have a history of serious cardiovascular disease, severe type 2 diabetes, or metabolic syndrome, egg supplementation should be monitored by a dietitian or clinician. But if you are in the relatively healthy, moderately nourished group of older adults, then 2 eggs a day is not only safe, but may also support long-term vascular protection. Next comes a factor you may not have considered: cognitive function and brain health. After age 60, short-term memory begins to decline. You may forget the name of someone you just met, or forget where you put your keys. This is common, but without proper support, the decline can progress to more serious conditions such as cognitive impairment, mild cognitive impairment (MCI), or Alzheimer's. Eggs, especially the yolks, are one of the richest natural sources of choline, a micronutrient that is often deficient in older adults, but is crucial for maintaining the structure of nerve cell membranes. Producing acetylcholine, a key neurotransmitter, and supporting memory function. When you eat 2 eggs a day for several months, you provide your brain with a steady supply of choline. It may not make a difference in a week, but after 6 months, you may start to see small improvements in morning alertness or an easier time concentrating when reading the newspaper, talking to loved ones, or participating in social activities. Some studies have even shown that choline can protect nerve cells from the effects of oxidative stress, a key factor in age-related neurodegeneration. But the story doesn't stop at protein and muscle. When you eat 2 eggs every day for 6 months, one of the subtle but important changes that happens inside your body is to your nervous system, specifically your memory and concentration. Eggs are one of the few food sources of choline, an essential micronutrient that many older adults are seriously deficient in without even realizing it. Choline plays a vital role in maintaining the structure of nerve cell membranes and aids in the production of acetylcholine, a neurotransmitter directly linked to memory and learning. As the brain begins to decline with age, choline deficiency can exacerbate dementia, forgetfulness, and loss of connections between nerve cells. For people over 60, this is no small problem. Many people start to notice that they forget where they put their keys, lose focus when reading, or have trouble remembering the names of people they know. While this may be a normal part of aging, it can also be an early warning sign of cognitive decline, and it's important to know what you're dealing with and what you can do to slow or improve it. The choline in eggs, specifically the yolk, provides a steady daily dose that helps maintain healthy levels of acetylcholine in the brain. And when you consume it consistently over the course of 6 months, some people may notice noticeable improvements: more mental clarity in the morning, better ability to remember new information, and less brain fog, a common symptom of aging. That's not all. Eggs also contain lutein and zeaxanthin, powerful carotenoids that are closely linked to our health. Unlike multivitamins, these nutrients need to be consumed through whole foods to be absorbed effectively. After age 60, your eyes begin to lose their ability to filter out harmful blue light, increasing your risk of macular degeneration and cataracts, the 2 leading causes of blindness in older adults. Lutein and zeaxanthin accumulate in the retina and act as a natural shield, protecting your vision cells from oxidative stress and blue light from the environment and digital devices. When you consume eggs every day for months, you're providing your eyes with essential nutrients that your regular diet, even a healthy one, can sometimes miss. But let's be honest, no food is perfect, and even the good things, eggs do come with some special considerations for seniors. One of the most common concerns is cholesterol. Egg yolks contain a relatively high amount of cholesterol, about 186 milligrams per egg. For decades, we were told to avoid eggs because of the fear that they would raise bad cholesterol (LDL) in the blood, which could lead to heart disease. However, in the last 2 decades, nutrition science has begun to differentiate more clearly between dietary cholesterol and endogenous cholesterol, that is, the kind produced by your liver. Most studies now show that for most healthy adults, the cholesterol in eggs does not significantly raise LDL levels. In fact, in some cases, it can even raise good cholesterol HDL, which can help support heart health. However, for people over 60, this needs to be approached with more caution. If you have a history of heart disease, high blood pressure, or are taking lipid-lowering medications, consuming 2 eggs a day should be individualized with your doctor. Older people metabolize fats differently than younger people. The enzymes in your liver and bile slow down, making it harder to process lipids, especially if you have a sedentary lifestyle or metabolic syndrome. In these cases, 2 eggs a day may be too much, and a smaller amount, say 1 a day, is safe and still beneficial. It's also worth noting that not all eggs are created equal. Some studies have shown that eggs from free-range, organically fed hens are higher in omega-3 south than conventional eggs. For older adults at risk for chronic inflammation like arthritis, atherosclerosis, or autoimmune disease, choosing eggs high in omega-3 south may provide better anti-inflammatory benefits. The omega-3 fatty acids in eggs also help lower triglycerides, improve endothelial function, and support brain health, a triple win for healthy aging. One thing to pay special attention to when you eat eggs every day is how you prepare them. Boiled or poached eggs are the optimal choice for people over 60 because they do not require the addition of oil, butter, or saturated fats to the cooking process. Fried eggs with butter or animal fat can increase the amount of calories and unhealthy fats, which can reverse some of the cardiovascular benefits inherent in eggs. Additionally, frying eggs at high temperatures can also create oxidative compounds that are not good for the circulatory and digestive systems in older adults. A daily egg regimen should be accompanied by a comprehensive nutritional lifestyle, not a substitute for comprehensive lifestyle changes. And there's one more thing that's sometimes overlooked: digestive health. When you eat eggs regularly, especially in your 60s, your digestive system, which is already sensitive and slow, can react in a variety of ways. Some people may experience bloating or indigestion, especially if they eat eggs at night or combine them with hard-to-digest foods like red meat or butter. However, when consumed properly, eggs can help improve gut microbiota thanks to their high sulfur and antioxidant content, which helps regenerate the gut lining and reduce the risk of chronic inflammation, a factor that often comes with aging. Of course, there's also the issue of allergies and intolerances. Although rare in older adults, it's still something to be aware of. Some people may develop mild reactions like rashes, a burning sensation in the mouth, or diarrhea when eating eggs for several days in a row. If this happens, you should stop eating eggs immediately and consult a doctor or geriatric dietitian to assess the cause and find a solution. Eating is for health. It should never be a habit that puts stress on your body. So what happens if a person over 60 eats 2 eggs a day for 6 months? The answer isn't a single miracle, but rather a subtle synergy of factors. After 6 months, your body may become more resilient thanks to a steady supply of protein, which helps maintain muscles and bones. Memory and mental clarity may improve thanks to choline. Eyes may become brighter and more resilient over time thanks to lutein and zeaxanthin. The heart, with blood pressure and lipids monitored and controlled, may benefit from HDL, omega-3 south, and the natural antioxidants in egg yolks. But more importantly, this isn't just about 2 eggs a day. This is about how older adults can start each morning with a simple, accessible, yet strategic health choice. It is a journey of proactive self-care, not through medication or strict diets, but through choices that are close, accessible, and sustainable over the long term. Of course, like any nutritional habit, the effectiveness of eating eggs every day depends a lot on each person's constitution, underlying diseases, and overall lifestyle. If you combine this habit with a light walk every morning, drinking enough water, getting enough sleep, and regular health checkups, you are not only living longer, but also living deeper, living better, and more meaningfully every day. You can start with an egg every morning, then listen to your body. It feels light, nutritious, and not full. Gradually, you feel the difference in your skin, in your mind, in your energy. And from those small changes, a chain of positive reactions will spread. Remember, after 60, the best thing you can do for yourself is not to live like someone else, but to listen to your body and care for it with understanding and love.